into the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Look, I should like tut or something like this one. Hey.
Pass it over.
Oh, got it. Bring it back. Hey.
What's up, you guys? We're back at it. It's AFTERBUZZ TV. Crazy ex-girlfriend. Oh my gosh. Crazy. I just am loving this episode. It's called I'm Back at Camp with Josh. Before we get into things, I'm your girl Trene, and I'm here with my boy Nino.
Yo, what's
Tell
going
him
on?
what's good.
It's your boy Nino. You can catch me at Nino Llanera on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, y'all. I love this episode.
Oh, we gonna get into it all
Let's
because
get
it was just
into
a
it.
lot that was just over my head, and then it was a lot where I was like, oh, like I had very much so moments where I wanted to jump out my seat, and very much moments
I saw
where
it. We were watching it in studio. I saw you. You were like, wait a minute.
yeah, and then I was just like confused at the end. But okay, so we got Rebecca going back to camp to rekindle things with Josh.
Yes, she's trying to make this happen.
It's gonna happen.
I want it to happen.
So, you know, she's pretty much meets up with Paula, and Paula's all telling her, okay, so before she figured out that she was going to go to the camp, she's like, what are some ways that you can tell Josh that you love him? Oh,
right.
Sneak in his apartment.
And do what?
And end up in his bed naked and surprise him when he gets home.
It worked for her in the 90s. So.
Yeah, it did work for her. And, you know, she's giving her advice. I just love her advice.
Paula's a little freak.
Yeah, she is.
She's a little freak. Yes, let's leave it at that.
Very much so. It's like you could tell she was getting it in the 90s.
Exactly.
And she's like trying to pass the torch to Rebecca. All of a sudden, we see Josh come up. It's like every time that there's like some weird moment where she's thinking about Josh, he just pops out of nowhere.
Exactly. He's there in a wavelength with her.
Yeah, it's like so much fate.
Well, and it's the boba place too. Everyone
loves
his
the boba place. So he goes and he picks up his boba. He's picking up so much boba, and she's a little confused as to why he's picking up so much. And he reveals that he's going to be heading the camp this year. And light bulb.
Hello.
Paula takes initiative, and she tells Josh, "Why don't you, Rebecca? I know someone who would want to be bomb at camp, and who's gonna come."
Yeah,
and she's like, "Yeah."
She's so down. She's so down for it. She like right when she said camp, and they were just talking about camp and rekindling. You saw the twinkle in Becca's eyes, and boom, she was like, "I gotta get there."
She had a master plan because she went ahead and went to meet with the director of the camp. And it was so funny because she, in her mind, was thinking, okay, I'm going to go to this camp. I'm going to have my lanyards. I'm going to have my campfire. I'm going to be the best counselor that there is. And it was like her dream was shed.
Right. She's like, no, we don't need any more camp counselors
like,
here.
We don't, but we need some money.
They need some money.
And she dished out the big dollars as she usually does.
Right. And then she became the director of women's empowerment.
I know, which was like, okay. I mean, Rebecca is pretty much so her own woman, but
she ballin'.
Yeah, she's her own woman. And we find out that she gets more and more excited about this, but it's just a little bit different on Josh's side.
It is. Which is funny though too, because Josh loves this camp. This is his every year go-to camp for the kids, the disadvantaged teens or whatever. And Valencia obviously does not like it.
A sourpuss.
Total sourpuss.
She's like, oh, Candy is as bad as what did she say?
Giving cigarettes to
giving
kids.
cigarettes to kids. It's like her negative energy. You can tell it always brings Josh down.
Right.
He's like, but he tries to stand up to her.
Exactly. And he did in the beginning just a little bit, but towards the end we saw like
she was like, if you're gonna want to start a family, you're gonna need to have a real job where you're working overtime instead of going to some camp.
Well, she needs to stop doing yoga.
Right. He supports your dreams.
Exactly.
Why can't you support his?
Get it together. Mm-hmm.
Get it together. And so as that little relationship issue is going on, we have Greg, meanwhile, who is in bed with Heather, the next door neighbor, Rebecca's next door neighbor.
Snuggling.
They're snuggling, they're making out, and the awkwardness hits when she reveals to him that she likes him a lot.
Right. Butterflies in her stomach. I mean, Heather doesn't really show too much emotion, but she was giving like the twinkle eyes to him. Like she was liking it. She
was so vulnerable, and that's the thing about women is like sometimes we have to have a wall up just because of this sort of thing. Like you reveal everything to a guy and you scare him away. And it's not like he does it intentionally.
He just has commitment issues. We learned that. Like he really like turned it off real quick when she was just like, I think I like you a lot. I have butterflies in my stomach, XYZ, blah, blah, blah. And his face at the end part of the scene was just like a little apprehensive, way apprehensive. And obviously we see how apprehensive he gets when he goes into the bar and he talks to Hector and White Josh. It
was just really, really awkward. Like, really, really awkward. You know, you could tell he just wasn't. I don't really see him ever being in a relationship.
Because of that situation.
So I think that for him, that was all new. And for her, it was like, okay, I'm telling you what's up. We've been hanging out. We've been hanging out all the time, hooking up, like she said. And now I'm going to tell you that I like you. And he just, no. He meets up with his boys at the bar, and he's like, I may have commitment issues.
He doesn't even want to admit it, but White Josh, though, comes up with that whole, like maybe this stems from blah, blah, blah. And I was like, dang, White Josh, I thought you were, you weren't as eloquent as that when he was talking.
Yeah.
I thought he was all about the gym and all about the muscles. And all of a sudden he's just like...
dishing out advice.
Yeah, and I was like, what? What? Your character just changed. Like,
evolving
character.
at the minute. Yes. And we're going to see more of his character evolving.
He evolved a lot.
Right. And so Daryl pops in, which is always unexpected. It's always like that with all these characters. Like, they pop in, just in and out, and you just never know what to expect. So he doesn't have his little daughter this weekend. The ex-wife came and took the daughter for the weekend, so he's a little lonely. And there's a fight going on for the weekend.
Right.
So he opens up his house because he has pay-per-view.
Right.
And he subtly invites the boys over for
the party.
A little party.
Which was the music you heard when you came in.
Yeah, that was the music you heard where he's getting ready for the party. He's the king of spread.
Yes.
The king of spread.
The king of spread because he makes the best pate.
Right.
You know what I mean? In this side of town, apparently, right?
And he was in a frat, supposedly, so he's used to this kind of stuff. So that whole thing, king of the spread presents having a few people over. It was like a promo within a show.
No, it was. When I first saw this, I saw part of it at home before I came here. I wasn't paying attention, and I looked up. I thought it was a commercial because it was like, dude. I was like, oh, maybe this is like a pre-Super Bowl commercial. Look up, and it's Daryl dancing, and with like lights and everything. I'm like, oh, this is part of the show. What? Like, totally didn't realize that it was part of the show because it came on right after commercial.
Yeah, it was like whatever Rachel Bloom's doing. She's like so creative, and she brings in that YouTube.
Oh, she totally does.
Because a lot of television right now is not doing that. Like, what she's doing, she's bringing in so much creativity, so much imagination.
Right.
Like, who would ever think that, okay, this guy's setting up for a fight party, he's going to just break out into his own music video and get it all going.
Right. No, I love what she's doing, and I really want more and more people to see it. You know what I mean? They're doing okay right now. We'll talk about this later on, but they're doing okay with ratings. I'm pretty sure they'll get a second season because she got a Golden Globe. and whatnot. But I want more people to see this because it's what they watch on YouTube. I could see this on a YouTube video. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like this is
the
something
humor.
I would probably watch. The humor, exactly. The dry humor, the dark humor, everything, but put on our TV screens.
Right, because it's like BuzzFeed and a lot of those. BuzzFeed does it a lot. Like they do like little shorts and things like that. So to be able to see it on TV with these characters that are just like dry humor, sense of humor, you get to see them day to day, what they're doing.
Exactly. I love it, y'all. Come on, get together, watch it.
It's like, watch it, be a part of it, because it's getting even more spicier now that Rebecca, it's the day of camp. She's got her backpack. Paula's got her ready.
Her Mama Paula.
Mama Paula's like, you got everything? Check.
Right.
Got your mosquito repellent, your water.
That mosquito repellent.
And then Rebecca pulls out a love letter.
Right.
That she was writing Josh back when they were 15, 16 years old.
Right. This is Camp Rebecca 1.0.
Yeah, so she's obviously the night before, which they don't show, she was getting ready, probably was so anxious. I just know Rebecca to the T now. Like,
you do.
I feel like she was so anxious. She was just in her room.
There
probably
could have been another song right there, right?
Probably in her room, barely could sleep.
It's like the Can't Be Getting Ready song.
Yeah, the Can't Be Getting Ready song. So yeah, I just really was excited for her in that moment. Like, okay, what's gonna happen? She's Josh. She's all even more giddier.
Right.
Josh is giddy too because he's in his element.
This is his element.
You know, he's around the camp. He's around the kids who love him.
Right.
They're like, Josh, get in, sit next to us. But womp womp womp. Rebecca doesn't receive any love from the female campers.
Yo, those are little mean girls.
Mean girls to the T. So 16 years old, I'm assuming.
Yeah, why are the disgruntled, like, disadvantaged kids always like little ratchet kids? Like, really? Like, I was like, they look all bad. Why little baby kids on the bus making fun of Rebecca?
They were throwing stuff at her.
Right, from the get.
Like, didn't even know her, and didn't know her history behind the camp. Right. She was once a camper.
Kids are cruel though, right?
Super cruel. Yeah. And I mean, she obviously was hoping for the best because she was going to empower them. Right. But little do we know, at lunch they gave her no play. They're having their little girl talk at their mean girl table about what so-and-so did. Oh, you know how it is when you're in high school.
Right.
If we have any high school viewers, let us know below what you thought of that. I mean, that was so high school.
Oh, it was super high school. When they played, what was that? When they played elbow tag. That first activity, and she comes through, she's like, oh, don't her here. And, she tries to get to be partners with Josh, but she gets partnered with, was it Sarah?
With Samantha.
So Samantha's aggressive.
Very aggressive. So aggressive. She knocked poor Rebecca down. Rebecca ends up getting a black eye.
For real. She knocked her down pretty good, though. Like, wow. Like, she was trying to go one way. Rebecca was trying to get to Josh. And she was like, no, I'm going this way. You're going to follow me. Then boom, clothesline.
Yeah, and then one of the campers just knew. She kind of sensed, I know that Rebecca likes Josh. So she was like, no, he's my partner.
I saw that, yeah. Like, I was like, you are too young.
Right. Ratchet. And then it was funny because they use a lot of terms that we use nowadays, like ratchet and thirsty. Like, that bitch is thirsty. Like,
right, Becca's a little thirsty. She was super thirsty that whole camp trip.
Very much so thirsty. So thirsty that she goes in her head, in her mind, she's trying to set up this wonderful moment for her and Josh.
Her moment.
And she decides that, she asked the girls, what would be the best place to take a photo at?
Right, a selfie with the sunset, right?
A selfie, because as we all know, Josh loves taking pictures on Instagram.
Right.
He's got to get his LPP up.
Right, likes per post, y'all. So they're low.
Right, another light bulb goes off in her head. She's like, likes per post. Where's the best place to take a picture?
Right.
And they were just, I think they were doing this on purpose, obviously.
Totally.
Like, blowy point.
Right.
Where it will knock you to your knees, which I personally didn't get at first, but then you explained to me.
I had to pause the DVR
I'm
real
like,
quick.
oh my god!
But even before I said anything, I paused it, and you're like, and then you chuckled. You're like, oh, I get it now. It was just a second after. All of a sudden, it was just like, oh.
Like, Oh.
Right? She's like, it's okay, I'm going to bring my windbreaker.
Yeah.
Her windbreaker.
Yeah, and she's so excited and just...
oblivious to the point.
Doesn't know what the point, and then she invites Josh, of course, and I like this scene because they had like a little bit of a flirting
when
going
she went
on.
over to talk to him, right? Yeah.
She's like, don't forget your windbreaker, and he's like, well, I'll beat you there, like I'm gonna beat you, kind of thing.
He knows what blowy point is. Because he had that smirk on his face. He was like, blowy point? Oh, okay.
The infamous blowy point.
Right. And he was just like, well, I'll meet you there at 5 then. He knows.
Right.
He was trying to play it out to see if she understood. He knows, though. Yet he still wants to meet her there.
He still wants to meet her there.
Bye-bye, Valencia.
Right. Bye-bye. Chuck a deuce. But meanwhile, off to the side, Daryl, he's got the nice little food plates, the wine set up at the fight party.
Yeah.
But he's missing one thing. The ladies.
Yeah.
The honeys, as Hector and White Josh say.
They all got bored with the fight. It was taking too long to get to the main bout. And they were about to leave, but, he came through, though. But
he came through all the way with sophisticated party casting app. Is this real life? Or is it something that Rachel Bloom came up with? Because if it is, girl, you're so creative.
Right, 15, 25, or 50 girls with one click of a button.
He's like, 25? That's quite expensive. He's like such an airhead. It's kind of like anything like this could go above his head.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, he brought the girls over and the party did get started. The guys were like excited, but not all the guys. I mean, did you notice Hector and White Josh talking to girls? I saw,
Hector was trying to talk to some girls, but I think he was just like, he just didn't know how to approach them. White Josh, like, he semi not there or not like totally invested into the moment. I didn't realize it, and we're gonna talk about this at the end, but I didn't catch that until I think about it later on. Kind of like just not in the moment. Not in the moment,
but Greg was definitely in the moment when he saw his high school crush, Ashley Pratt,
who liked Josh Chan. In
high
school.
So she was.
Everyone
liked Josh Chan when he
when he was in high school.
If you guys didn't notice the photo from the camp of Rebecca and Josh, he just looked so disinterested as a teenager.
No, he was like, oh, this is a selfie?
So not into this. So they've been taking selfies since back when.
Right. They said that was 2000 something. So yeah. 2005, I think. Yeah.
And so Greg's like so head over heels that he sees Ashley. He's like, oh my gosh, she's an actress now in LA. She played a barista in outer space. She played a sad barista.
She played a dead barista on Bones.
So he's got his eye set on her. He's like, because what he said in the bar was, the only way I'm going to commit if it's a perfect girl walks through.
Right.
And
perfect girl.
And he's like, that's the perfect girl for me.
Yeah. No.
Probably not.
No, commitment issues still. It doesn't matter who this girl is. He has commitment issues left and right, up and down. She looked great, though.
Yeah, she was a cute girl next door. Definitely a lot different from
Heather.
I mean, I definitely see him with somebody like Ashley. And Ashley and him finally get to talk. Yeah. They're having their little moment, and she didn't even remember him from high school.
She didn't remember him at all. And she was like, wait, homeschool? Yeah, you look like you were at homeschool. But obviously they hit it off.
Yeah.
As they were toasting on some wine and talking and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, and then that's when she reveals to him, like, oh, like, you're a guy that I definitely could see myself settling down with.
Right.
And that's when he's like,
Once again. Stepping
back. I just want to smash.
Forward. Right. Right. Maybe that's just all he wants to do at this point for right now. He is not with the commitment.
I mean, at first we see him trying to, commit to Rebecca a little bit.
Right.
In the beginning of the season. And after she kind of stomped on him and
I can't wait to get to
made him feel a little bit down here, it's like now he probably doesn't even know how to commit, you know?
Well, I can't wait.
Especially when someone's interested in him. He's just not feeling it.
No, he's not all there.
But so Rebecca still has the plan to meet at Blowy Point to give Josh the letter, despite what Paula said.
Right.
And she didn't follow Paula's orders about taking the mosquito repellent.
No, she also didn't follow Paula's orders about using her women goodies to make Josh fall in love with her again, which was kind of funny. You know what I mean?
I know, her ovaries, Hustle and Flow.
Hustle and Flow. Her ovaries are named Hustle and Flow, and it was her name Bonnie and Clyde.
Oh my god.
But she's there for women empowerment.
Yeah, she's there to empower women, all right.
Yeah.
But so she had an allergic reaction, ended up passing out.
Oh my god, she had, what was it, Skeeter something, like whatever the nurse said, but she straight passed out.
You went into anaphylactic shock.
Hello, what?
I didn't even know that existed. She's like, God, am I alive? Am I alive? Oh, God.
She's like, God, is that you? Hello?
Funny part, I just love how they show you kind of the behind the scenes of what really happened, because she's like, how did I get here? And then they dragged her and they saved her little life.
They did. So she should be happy even though she has twigs in her hair.
Right. So she gets up despite being in the nurse's office
and looking like hell.
Rushes over, puts her jacket on to go meet up with Josh at Blowy Point.
Right. Blowy Point isn't even that scenic though.
Yeah.
It's like a rock. I thought they were gonna be climbing some sort of nice bluff, and you could see the beautiful, the beautiful backdrop or whatnot. But it looks like it was like a bluff at a park. Not even a bluff, like a rock that had another rock on top of it at a park.
Yeah. Yeah, It wasn't what I pictured. I thought it was gonna be very beautiful and lots of waterfalls and
Blowy Point, guys.
Hey, but I'm saying, man, still, you would think it would be a little bit hidden since it was called Blowy Point. It was like in front of like a track.
It was very like what I wasn't imagining. I was just like,
picturing like the beach with Leonardo DiCaprio.
I mean,
much more romantic. Okay, like the romance. We didn't get any of that. We didn't get any of that at all. But Rebecca, she finally pulls out the letter, which I thought was really brave of her.
Yeah, Jesus, she pulled out the letter. She sang it to him.
Yeah, she sang it to him, and he just like starts snickering. And I don't think he started snickering because he thought it was weird. I think he was getting a little bit touched. Oh,
that's a good way to look at it. I didn't even think about that. I thought he just thought like, I think it went over his head, like in the beginning when he was just like her singing it and he heard him hearing it. It was just like funny because it was like the way she wrote it was kind of funny, right? But you're right. Maybe he was a little like, he felt something.
Yeah, and he's just like, that's a little weird. Like,
right.
Like guys in general, like when you tell them something like super sweet about them or just like cuddly wuddly, it kind of throws them off, don't you think? Like
sometimes, yeah. Sometimes, like even if it's just a small compliment, like I'm like, oh, what?
Yeah, like it's low key weird.
Like how do I react to that kind of situation? But so I get it. Yeah, I get it. Maybe he was just reacting that way because he didn't know how to react.
Yeah, he didn't know how to react, and that totally put her off because she just threw the letter away. I mean, that's honestly what I probably would have done too. Like, well, I'm just gonna.
She totally felt some type of way.
Her feelings were hurt, definitely, and we see her break down at the female empowerment. I think even so, just. The teenage girls like, oh, she's a hot mess, like bullying her and making her feel even more less of a person. That really just broke her down.
No, it totally did. I mean, she had a really bad day. Okay, one, she went into shock because she was allergic to mosquitoes. Two, Josh wouldn't take selfies with her. The girls were being mean to her. All these things were just happening.
Piling up.
Yeah, exactly. Piling up, and then all of a sudden Josh breaks her heart, doesn't even know he breaks her heart. And then she has to go to this meeting to talk about women empowerment. That's not gonna happen.
She, I don't know. Like her tactic on trying to reach 16-year-olds was quite a little outlandish.
Oh right, when she was just like, okay, ovaries are made to bear. We bear them with our ovaries, right? Like,
because she said she referred to like an ox, and she was like, that's not the sound that an ox makes.
Right. No, it was funny. I'm surprised because she's super like obviously social media savvy and tech savvy. I thought she would have some sort of presentation and some sort of like number to be dancing into. You know what I mean? Like or like a little rap. Like don't let the guys rule you. You be your own woman. Blah blah blah. Whatever. but she totally broke down and she cried.
Yeah, no, she cried. She's like, I'm having such a terrible day. And then it was like one of them that the teenager was like, that bitch is thirsty.
Right.
Again, it's like, damn, give poor Rebecca a break.
And
but
the tampon.
Threw a tampon at her, and she's like, I'm desperately in love with a man who will never love me back. And she's like, I can't even empower you guys. And I was just kind of like, my heart melted when all of a sudden the teenagers hugged her.
Right.
And they're like, we'll empower you. Break it down, girls.
All of them to song. Okay.
You need a makeover.
Okay. Wait a minute. So this music video that they shot totally reminded me the song because of the horns and all this other stuff and just how it looked of this group called Fifth Harmony and their Boss video. I'm pretty sure Rebecca played it on that. I'm like almost 100% sure.
Baby girl, baby boy, I'm worth it. That one?
No, the first single that they had.
Oh, okay, I don't know the first single. That's my favorite one.
It was called Boss, I mean. But yeah, anyways, but it looked like that.
And you said something about Terry Richardson.
Terry Richardson, Daryl played the creepy Terry Richardson photographer that takes all the crazy pictures of like Miley Cyrus, like Mariah Carey, but not everyone.
That was Daryl that was playing?
That was Daryl, I think. That looked like Daryl.
Oh my gosh.
With just short hair.
Yeah, that was, I like just that whole aesthetics of that whole thing. Like, never put a man first, put yourself first.
Right.
They're like, put yourself first. Put yourself first.
You remember
like,
the song? Yeah, it was crazy. They actually had a dancer, like, this is like random thought, but I saw a girl, her name is Aubrey Storm, she's a dancer. She was like backup for Justin Bieber for like 3 years, the past 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
And look at her now.
Well, she looked like she looked like she never aged. She looks like she was 16.
She's young,
16.
right?
There used to be this show called Dance on Sunset back in the day on Nickelodeon. And this is when I was like super into dance. And I was like, I want to be on the show. Blah, blah, blah. She used to be on that. She still looks like she's 16. I'm like, okay.
Look at her making moves.
Right? I don't crack like that.
Right. I honestly love it. I honestly was kind of like, wow, like it's interesting how these teenagers are teaching her how to love herself.
Exactly.
Like, and if you like to think, and baby, you should go and love yourself.
That's right. You should go and love yourself. Everyone should love themselves.
Right, because then you're gonna have a man stomping all over you, treating you like mess, and you're never gonna recognize what your worth is.
No, for real.
So they gave her the makeover.
That goes vice versa.
Right.
Okay? That goes vice versa. All right. Everyone should just be loving themselves.
Right. Love is no.
But that's like one of my favorite songs right now, though.
You love yourself.
Yeah, like that whole album was pretty.
Yeah,
dope.
it was pretty dope. But
they need to be on the show, and then the show. Will
yes, they do. That would be tight if they brought him in. But yeah, no, she ended up looking pretty good, looking pretty well. They gave her some hoop earrings. They gave her a leather hat.
Bamboo earrings.
Yes.
They looked like bamboo earrings. Her hair
They
was
gave her
swept to the side.
It was like she was a new woman after that, and all of a sudden, she's telling them about Josh, and they're giving her advice. They're talking about how the guys that they talk to try to have them send nudes.
Right. They sent a nude and like, WYD, what you doing?
She was like, I forgot what she said.
She's like, if a guy can't even send out words to me or type out words to me, I'm not gonna take my clothes off. But if he sends emojis, what was it? The monkey eating the cheese?
Chipmunk with the cheese.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. I don't know what these emojis mean sometimes.
She's down for the cause. I feel like I should try that one day. Look for the monkey and the cheese.
Does
that mean something?
Maybe.
I'm about to Urban Dictionary that later on.
Let me know. If anyone knows what that means, leave us some comments below. Right. And so Josh walks in, he's like, you're all Becky from the block. Like, so cheesy. And she's like, yeah. Like, you could tell she's just feeling herself. And he's like, I want to talk to you. And I envisioned that this would happen. Like, he was going to read the letter. Because when she threw it in the trash, he looked back at it. It's like, ooh. That's so Raven. I can see visions now.
I think I asked that, like, when that happened, I was like, please read that. Please go back and read that. And he did. I'm so happy he read that, though.
Guys aren't stupid after all.
Hey. Hello.
You guys aren't. Because he invites her over to the campfire. And it's just, like, so in the moment.
That was the moment that she's been wanting.
Right. And he finally just, like, gets really in tune with his feelings for her, and he's just like, no one has ever said anything like that about me ever. Like, she was saying how she believed in him and how he's her hero, and just saying all these nice words that Valencia
could not do.
Has yet to see. And in that moment, I was like, oh, like, this is the moment for them to finally rekindle that relationship.
Right, because his face the whole time was just like a nice, like, calm, like, I can't believe you felt that way all this time, and that just makes me so happy because no one's ever, told him that before.
I thought he was gonna cry.
Yeah,
like,
I really thought, right?
I really thought he was gonna cry. And
before I started to, I'm like, this is a really
you've never tried to
change me.
You've never tried to change me. You love me, but no. And then
your improv's on point today.
it was like she was like, doom 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 doom. Like, I just wanted like some fireworks to go off and some little heart emojis
everywhere
to kind of just be somewhere, because it was just so intimate, this moment, and they both lean in, and it was like that awkward moment where you think somebody's gonna kiss.
This is Trene at the table. She was just like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
And all of a sudden they lean in and he kisses her on the cheek.
Oh, was that anticlimactic for you? It was still it was still good for me. I'm like, he did it at least, because the way he did it though, and Paula says this, the way he kissed her on the cheek looked like it was everything. Like, he was just like, well, I can't kiss you on the lips because I'm still with Valencia and I'm not that kind of guy, but I kind of want to be that kind of guy, so I'm going to kiss you on your cheek with a little stare. It wasn't just a...
He's such a tease.
It wasn't just a... It was a...
So it was a... Oh, it was a... Instead of a... It's like, no.
But she was quenched though.
She was like, because the teenage girls were like, "What? You're a grown woman. He kissed you on the cheek." Same thing I was thinking. And she's like, yeah, "You're still thirsty." She's like, "No, in this moment, I'm quenched."
I was quenched too. See, I was like, "There you go, Josh."
It's like Josh kisses her on the cheek and then he walks off and he's just like, "Yeah,
she wants me
I
more."
did that.
I did.
Want some more? You know where to find me. But and yeah, so I'm just like, oh, like,
it was a good moment.
Be together already.
Then I was just like, I thought that was gonna be like, see, every episode, because last episode 2, I'm like, oh my god, this is the moment, this is the moment. Every episode until this season's over is gonna be that moment, and we're gonna be freaking like the last 10 minutes of each episode.
I really, really am just starting to get very like
invested in the moment.
Yeah, I'm like, like that's just. And so the party for Daryl ends, and the last person that ends up being there is White Josh. This was very kind of in the moment for me. I was kind of feeling like, okay, is he looking up to him like a father figure? But remember on the bus when Daryl was like, "That's White Josh."
Right.
I always look at him at the gym. He's my muscle.
He's my fitspiration.
My fitspiration. Like, oh my gosh. So I'm thinking like they both kind of had like this like,
bond or something.
Yeah. So he's telling him like, I just want to let you know that this was a great party. Kind of like opening up.
They were just vibing with each other. And I was like, this is cool. Okay. Like, White Josh is just totally evolving in character, because I honestly thought he was like a dunce, like he wasn't really thinking. He was kind of like airhead, you know what I mean, type situation. He was a super bro, is what he was. And all of a sudden, throughout this whole episode, he kind of just opened up a little bit more. He was smarter and smarter. At the end, he was like helping him with the dishes. And then what happened today?
Vibing. He walks out of the door. And he's all like, all right. All right. Kisses him on the cheek.
Right, and it was one of those
So he gives him a hug. It wasn't even a bro hug. Like, it wasn't like, all right, I'll see you later. It was more like, bye.
With a wink.
Winked at him.
With
like, it was like,
what?
Oh my gosh. Like, that was very sus. Sus means suspect. It was very like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, I'm hella confused.
Is putting in some stuff into the mix. This is a whole nother storyline now. Daryl looked like he didn't mind At the end scene.
Yeah, like when they all get to work and Paula's like, talking about the kiss in the cheek, and he's like, kiss on the cheek? What does a kiss on the cheek mean? And then when she tells him sometimes it means it's like your
nothing.
Aunt Pearl or nothing, and then sometimes it means everything. He's like,
everything?
Everything? Okay. Oh my gosh.
This could
so
be.
I really am like, what is about to happen?
This evolution.
Oh my gosh.
Of the
But
characters.
I mean, aside from those are probably the most two interesting parts of the show.
Right.
I mean, Greg, we see him finally meet up with Heather in the park, and he's reading this book called Commitment for Idiots.
Right. And then they get back together.
Blah blah blah. But before we end the show, let's get into predictions.
Let's do it.
We've been wanting to do this
Yes.
all episode.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV.
So excited.
What you
for this
got?
Episode. I got some. All right. So, the reason Greg is such a commitment phobe is because he still really likes Rebecca. He still really likes Rebecca. And because of the whole bus situation and how we saw the week before how they got mad at each other because of the whole Rebecca thing, they were fighting over Rebecca. And as it gets more serious with Heather, he's like, I don't know if I want to commit because this isn't the one for me. I don't think it is. So then he meets Ashley again. And when she says the same thing, she's scared to commit there for anything. And goes back to Heather because Heather's closer to Rebecca.
They're both awkward.
Yes.
They're kind of almost the same.
Kind of, you know what I mean? Like, I think she's just a little bit more in tune with everybody than Rebecca is.
Yeah.
But he still likes Rebecca. Something's going to happen. I think Rebecca and Heather might be fighting sometime soon.
Well, next week is Crazy Ex Text episode. Rebecca, this one thing that just girls do by accident, guys do by accident, humans do by accident, send the text that you meant for the person to the person.
Embarrassing.
So she had a text that said, I love Josh Chan. I imagine she was trying to send that to Paula, but she accidentally sent that over to Josh.
You know what? If I did that to somebody and put like I love whoever, blah, 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 I'd have texted back like, hey, how are you? Like, try to play it off. But I'm pretty sure she's going to go in like
She went above and beyond. Like, she's freaking out, breaks into his house, opens the door, and... Wait, he opens the door to his own house, and she's like, Josh. She's like, Rebecca, what are you doing here?
Apartment?
Like, what's really good?
Right.
But my prediction is that Daryl and White Josh, something is gonna happen between them.
You want to see the storyline?
It's gonna be some real sex, and I'm just kidding. It's not gonna be they're not gonna do that, but it's gonna be like some real like feelings developing, or maybe I'm wrong. And then I feel like Josh and Rebecca are going to get married. Whoa. Not this season, but like as the season progresses, they're definitely going to be married. He's not going to marry Valencia.
Who do you think Valencia's going to end up with?
Valencia's going to end up alone.
Oh, yeah, better
with her
alone?
cats and her yoga mat.
Her yoga mats.
Because she's just rude.
How about if Hector wants to slide in those DMs with Rebecca? I mean, with Valencia.
I don't know.
That's a little too much. It
goes she needs somebody that's just like doesn't have a backbone. I mean, at first Josh didn't have a backbone. Now he's starting to develop. Right. He's empowered, as he said at the end of the episode. So I'm excited to see what's about to go down.
Me too. I can't wait to see the development of all the characters, especially White Josh and Daryl White Feather, just to see what happens.
It's just
it's crazy. It's so crazy because I never expected it, but.
Definitely. What were the views like?
Rebecca, huh?
What were the views like?
Like it's getting better and better. I mean, she was talking about it in a. I'm sorry, I'm trying to remember what issue it was or what website it was, but she had an interview after like post Golden Globe, and she was saying in that like the ratings are, like they're fighting for the ratings. They really are. And they're doing okay, but it's still not where it should be. So she's not going to stop until those ratings are comfortable where she wants it to be comfortable. But she knows that getting that Golden Globe and like all the press she's been getting is basically like an into a second season. I don't think they have a green light yet, but
It definitely
I mean?
needs to be a second season.
It does.
This is just getting really crazy, and we cannot wait to tune in next week. And we can't wait to get your comments and your views, and just tell us what you think. Like, if you think that one character should do one thing, like, just play imagination with us.
Right.
Leave us some comments below. Like us, like AfterBuzz TV on Facebook, on Twitter. Follow us, Instagram. Subscribe. Tell your friends about us. Share. And iTunes, it's free, but you can also download that and listen to us all the time. If you don't have time to look at us, listen to us. So
Catch us in traffic.
yeah, catch us in traffic. So before we head out, I just want to let you guys know, follow me on Twitter and Instagram at your girl Trene. And where can we follow you at?
Yes, guys. Once again, it's your boy Nino. You can catch me at Nino Llanera on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And big shout out to Marcus McGee. We saw your comment from last week. We love you too. Thank you for watching, and thank you everyone else for tweeting and letting us know what you think. I can't wait till next week.
Oh, we cannot wait. Yeah, leave us some tweets, leave us some comments, and really just, let's
Get interactive, y'all.
keep
Let's
it in
go.
the family, the crazy ex-girlfriend AfterBuzz family. We love you guys. See you next week.
Bye, y'all.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.